Nervous. Okay. Nervous about what?
Nervous about.
I think that because this is the first time that it's coming.
Okay.
It's coming out in this format.
He was my first boyfriend and everything like that because we were little babies. So
I will say whatever,
Yeah.
but I just want to know like how
You say
long.
whatever.
Okay, that's too much.
Okay, so you
I'm like, how much are we sharing?
You're here because, well, you might just be here because you're friends with the host and you're super awesome. And some of you are here because you have a heart to see couples gain the tools you might not have had. Some of you might have gone through this process with us. You might want to help others avoid the pain that you've had to walk through. You are hope for little hurting families, couples that are close to calling it quits forever, for children who need healthy parents. You're here because we need your help to solve a problem that's really hard to face.
When Chris came home on that deployment, there was warning for all of us spouses of what we would experience, meaning even just that he had not showered maybe in 8 months. Like it was pretty drastic that we would experience some things. He's returned safely with all his limbs, but nothing prepared me for the isolation that I felt when he came home. I just adapted to his condition. Whatever he felt was best for him, I put my needs and my wants and my desires aside and just came to support him.
So my story starts with me being born into a Pentecostal Christian family. Being a pastor's home, we had a lot of visiting pastors that come through visiting prophets and pastors that come through our house. So when I was 8 years old, one of those visiting pastors sexually molested me. When that event happened, my mom just got out of a night shift duty and she was sleeping. This happened in our guest bedroom. And I ran out of there into her arms. Because she was sleeping, I couldn't bother her. And she just beat me. That left a big scar in my heart.
You know, normal childhood, had parents, but I started to have some bad habits with pornography, being exposed to that from friends, kind of just carried over into marriage life.
A lot of that kind of just stayed hidden for the whole duration of our marriage. And it stayed at a level to where I never thought I would ever get healing from it. It was just something that I thought I was stuck with, I was going to live with my whole life. And then it kind of spiraled out of control. Small, like, secret problems that I had turned into stuff that kind of threw away my family. Because I'm still processing it, and I was in denial of it for a long time. But I just had addictions that I just let completely take over. All of the consequences of everything I did fell directly on my family.
I remember driving to the local Walgreens, just sitting in that parking lot. And I bought a bottle of pills. I left the kids at home with him, and I was ready to just end it. And I called a friend, and I said, I'm done. I don't want to be with him anymore. And I just, they would all be better off without me because this is all my fault. And I just lived with the weight of everything that was going on. And I just took so much responsibility of his own actions that I told her, I said, I'm ready to end this. Like, I'm done. And this is my goodbye.
When you get married, this isn't a clean slate or a new beginning. It's a continuation. Everything you experience as a kid, as a young person, everything throughout your entire life comes with you. In marriage, we fall into patterns of wanting to protect ourselves, wanting to hide our mistakes, or wanting to control the fragile world and people around us. Research according to Barna Group shows 11 is the average age that a child is first exposed to porn. 11. 94% of children will see pornography by the age of 14. And so, we bring so much trauma into marriage without any tools to help us. In a marriage, when a husband or wife is confronted with the idea of sharing an addiction, mistake, or any challenge they face secretly, many often decide to keep the pain a secret because they believe that sharing the secret would cause more pain than keeping the secret. But the truth is, they might be right. Sharing addictions, issues, or mistakes with your partner without having anywhere to go for healing can just lead to more hopelessness.
We started attending Gateway Church, and they hosted a marriage conference called EXO Conference, and we used to go there every year.
When we attended that conference and the speaker said, he challenged us to go home and tell our spouse something they didn't know about us, about the other person, I had no idea what was coming. We had gone to dinner and he said, there's something I need to tell you. And I said, okay. So then when we came home and he started to tell me some of the things that he had been struggling with, because not all of it came out that night, I got up and I gave him a hug and I said, it's gonna be okay. But at the same time, I also felt really lost and didn't know what to do and if we would survive this. So I basically didn't sleep that whole night and went back to the conference the next day, desperately trying to get help. And they connected us to a resource where someone would call us the following day, which they did, and they recommended a book to read, and we were like, okay, let's do it. Let's do what they told us to do. So I did order the book, and over the course of that week, I went back to work and was trying to function at work and, function as a mom, but just felt really, really broken inside. I think I just remember how hopeless I felt and how alone I felt.
Every one of these stories has one thing in common, and it's something that might seem a little simple, but it's critical. What does every one of these stories of pain have in common? Those who were hurting felt they had no place to go. Someone to tell everything. A place to go where they can do the work for years. Or maybe a place where they can just escape the face of the earth for a week and be the emergency room for a time. No, the world has no shortage of books, podcasts, conferences, seminars. But what the world needs is a place. That's what Life Unplugged has sought to make since it first started. Place. It might be one-on-one meetings, a group, it might be a retreat, or even a retreat center in the near future. Life Unplugged works so hard to prepare all of these spaces. We bring in the hurting and the hopeless in order to help them heal. And now, for the very first time ever, Life Unplugged is going to do something different. For families going through challenges in their marriage, their ability to get connected to Life Unplugged has been dependent on them knowing someone who has already received help from us. Life Unplugged has existed solely by word of mouth. Healed people have connected hurting people to us. Word of mouth has been the only way people have come to know us. Until now. Life Unplugged is going to exist in a new place. There is one location, one place, where 2.7 billion people have gathered together to escape the other places in their lives. Many of these people have come to this place just to pass the time. Others have come to this place desperately looking for answers. Life Unplugged is endeavoring to launch multiple programs across YouTube with the hope of reaching millions of families. Shows, podcasts, programs created to reach people who are still hurting in silence. Families that have no hope, no place. We've gained partnerships with some of the most effective content strategists who are responsible for reaching hundreds of millions of people. But here's the thing. We're not just creating catchy listicles. Top 5 ways to avoid divorce during the holidays. Okay, that sounds like something that would be worth watching. But no, we're not just creating content for some digital marketing efforts. As a matter of fact, we're taking the absolute most valuable, most critical information we have and putting all of it on YouTube for the world for free. Week 1 for a wife who just discovered a betrayal in her marriage. Year 1 for a couple after the discovery of an affair. Complete steps to freedom. Yes, we're giving away the most critical knowledge and information for free. In theory, someone could discover our content and find their own entire journey to healing without us ever knowing who they are. But there's something else we endeavor to do. It sets us apart from any other organization. We know it takes more than knowledge, more than a book, more than a series of videos, even the best videos in the world, to find healing. It takes a place. Our goal would be to lead all of these people to where they might reach out and we can come alongside them to help them find healing, stability, wholeness, complete family. We want them to find their place with us, but we have a massive battle ahead of us and qualified creators available to help us. But the capital of taking on such a big project is daunting. The cost of this project in entirety will take roughly $150,000. With this amount, we're hoping to reach hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives within the next calendar year who are desperate for a place to heal. To cover this amount would mean that we are permanently leaving a mark on a digital world and creating a legacy that will impact countless lives of children and generations. But what about the place? For those who are impacted by our content, then reach out to us to come alongside them. This is probably the most exciting part of what we're working on at Life Unplugged. We don't want any families that want help to walk alone, ever. And this is why Life Unplugged began to work on something years ago that is beginning to happen right now. The Life Unplugged Certified Coaching Program. In the near future, Life Unplugged is going to be bringing on as many as 50 coaches to help with those who reach out to us. These coaches are going to be formally and officially certified to counsel and coach individuals or couples that reach out for help. In the past year, Life Unplugged has grown from 2 counselors, James and Terry, to 6 certified counselors, and we aim to grow to 50 next year. So much work has gone into making this possible, and now, all that's required is capital to unlock the opportunity. All of the projects we're creating are important, but we really believe a space is needed for real transformation. And that's why this project is the most critical thing we'll do. Here's the cool part. Remember, Life Unplugged existed solely by word of mouth. All of this has existed just because people like you Well, probably a lot of you in this room sharing about Life Unplugged, whether it's your story or the impact of Life Unplugged with someone else who's hurting or needs help. What would that reach look like if we had 50 times the amount of impact that got us to this point? As a starting point, in order to bring on 50 coaches in a limited capacity, start coaching hurting families reaching out to us from all over the world, we'll need $1.2 million. This is a really big ask, but we believe it's critical. A place to heal can't only exist within small circles in Texas, South Carolina, Southern California. We need to be able to help people everywhere. And those people need a place. We believe this is going to be that place.